Okay, 1, 2, 3. Action. Okay, what is up guys? Fahan here with Za once again, and today we have Juvena, aka the Wandering Wasp. Hi.
Hello.
So, a little bit of introduction. She's an extreme overlander. For 27 months, she actually travelled from Singapore to Europe on a Vespa PX. Am I right? That is the PX, right?
Well, XL 150.
Oh, XL 150. Alamak.
Actually, it's almost the same lah.
They all look the same.
It's just like the parts here and there change, you know.
Yeah,
here and
only
there.
the head different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other than that, everything else is the same.
Same as mine lah. Fine.
Yeah. Because it's like they have been around for so long, right?
Yeah.
Then over time, I don't know, past owner, change here, change there.
But
It doesn't no longer look like the original.
But your
model
Vespa is the round headlight, not the square one. His one is the square one.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so anyway, to continue, introduction. Her trip is well documented on her blog. Okay, and she has her own YouTube channel where she shares snippets of her trip and advises on overlanding on the channel. And she has granted countless interviews from both mainstream and casual media like us. Yeah, so even myself interviewed.
Yeah, the last time we did the interview is through Zoom, right?
Yeah, it was during the circuit breaker.
And it's not with him lah. He kind of disappointed lah.
But it's okay. I mean, but to meet the person in real life, it's much better.
Yeah, I look shorter than you, I must call him. Sorry, alamak. I don't want to play height already. Okay, but Juvena, just so you know, this interview is a bit different. But I think maybe Za want to ask about overlanding questions lah. But for me, for this interview, mostly gonna get to know you on a personal basis lah. But don't worry, not too personal lah. But hopefully you can answer them. Okay, so first question. What have you been up to these days, ever since you got back?
Wow, ever since I got back, okay, so the trip actually made me want to continue traveling like this. So when I came back to Singapore, I realized that I don't really want to return to a 9-to-5 job. Yeah, so I decided to go into self-employment. So at the beginning, I was doing some freelance tutoring. So that was kind of like my main source of income. But on the sideline, I also had a few side hustles relating to what I do, as a result of my overland travels. So I've been invited to give talks at public events and also corporate events, and also been invited to travel overseas for travel product launches. This gave me some income, but they are not stable. Okay, so my more stable income stream is still from private tutoring. So I was just like bumming around, not say bumming around, but I was just like trying out different things, doing side gigs. For a period of time, I was also doing Grab food, but I find it not very mind stimulating, so I stopped. So nowadays, I just started on doing an internship because I would say that I'm in the midst of like a mid-career switch in some way. Because previously I was working in the research lab.
And that is Poly, right?
In Temasek Poly.
Yeah, that's my alumni already. I don't know why I say that. Sorry. Continue.
So that was working in the lab and research is a very how to say
mundane.
Not say mundane, but it doesn't give you too much
challenges,
flexibility, I would say.
Because it's 8 to 5, is it?
Yeah, 9 to 5. It's like you need to go. You are bounded to a place. You need to work in a lab. You don't have the flexibility of going to different locations to work. So I decided to dabble into some digital media production and marketing. So actually, right now I just started an internship in August with a social enterprise. I'm helping them with all the digital media and marketing at the moment. So I hope that the skills that I picked up from this internship can also help me in my channel. And also in future collaboration with other companies in future. And also I can be a digital nomad, like right now I think COVID-19 has shown us that there are actually a lot of jobs that you don't need to
be at the office.
you don't need to be in the office. And also during my travel, I also met many digital nomads. So they have been traveling for years and they work remotely. So it can be either through like copywriting, teaching English online, or they do digital design. And all these work are all remote. So they can be anywhere in the world and still get an income stream. So this is the direction that I want to head towards, so that I can travel and also be able to earn at the same time and not like just depleting my savings as I'm traveling.
I understand. I think for like extreme overlanders such as yourself, you definitely need
an ongoing income.
Yes.
Basically, they pay you while you sleep lah.
Yeah, so previously I was mainly surviving on my savings. I mean, I did have a little bit of income, but it wasn't enough to sustain for the long run. So yeah, I think these few years that I've been back, I've been trying to find a source of income where I can sustain myself remotely.
Speaking of, what have you been up to these days? Like, maybe how has your daily life, in general, differ compared to before and after the trip? Yeah?
Before, you mean before and after the trip, or during my trip and coming back now?
Before and then you come back already.
So before my trip, right, I was working in a stat board lah.
Okay.
So a lot of procedures, they're very regimental. Yeah.
Tell me about it. I'm working with a government agency and there's like a lot of bureaucracy.
Yes, there's a lot of red tapes, right? That you have to deal with. Sometimes I feel like I'm like dealing more with red tapes than doing actually research work.
I know, like everything email.
Yeah, like you want to buy something, also you have to fill out dozens of forms.
That's why.
Yeah, but it's required because we are using public funds, so there needs to be accountability. But then when I came back from my trip, I just have a rethink about really what I want, because I want to be in control of my time. Previously, when I was working for a company, I didn't really have control of my time because I myself have other personal pursuits, right? Like I like riding. Sometimes I go and take part in competitions, and whenever I need to take time off to take part in all this, I need to go and get approval. So I feel like the time is not mine.
Yeah, correct. True.
Yeah, I'm not in control of my time. I cannot pursue the things that I want. So when I came back to Singapore, I realized that hey, I think I start to treasure every moment more, like especially the present moment, because especially when you're traveling, you're meeting so many people and crossing through so many places, and many of these people and places, you probably will not see them again. So it taught me how to treasure like moment now. So like right now, since I'm back, even now, like my time now, I want it to be really mine. I don't want to sell my time to somebody else, and that is why I decided to be self-employed.
I see.
So that and because I have sometimes other side hustles, like as a result from my overland traveling. Yeah, then if I want to pursue them, if I were to be working for someone, I have to get leave, ask for permission, blah blah blah, which I just don't want to go through that anymore. So I decided to be self-employed. I'm in control of my time, and the more I work, the more income I get. So previously, like no matter how much I work or how little I work, I still get the same pay.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
There are a lot of opportunities nowadays. Just curious lah.
Yeah, and I think that especially now, we're entering the 4th industrial revolution, right? Everything is changing at exponential rate. I think we cannot always stick to what we know in the past, right? Like last time things used to be do like that. But things are changing so rapidly. If you don't keep up, you'll just
you lose out.
You lose out. Yeah.
True. I mean, looking like earlier you mentioned, COVID-19 pandemic has already shown us that we can work without being in the office. Yeah. So, we just need to be IT savvy to be able to, capture this opportunity.
Yeah. So the internship that I'm doing now is helping many of these social enterprises in their digitalization. Because if you see, if those companies that go through the digitalization, they lose out in the pandemic. And those that they had already started digitalization, they are the ones that benefited. Yeah.
I know your Vespa, the LX is still at Europe, is it? Which part of Europe?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, oh yeah. Where is it currently actually?
Czech Republic, Pardubice.
Pardubice. So it's in a barn somewhere, right?
I don't know, it's just some garage. I just saw it in last year. I went to Czech Republic and did some paperwork.
Okay.
I saw it.
Still alive.
It's still alive, but I'm not sure whether it runs now because I just go there and just do some paperwork and pick up some of my luggage.
Oh, you flew there?
Yeah, flew there.
Quite recently, is it?
Just before the pandemic and border closed. Yeah, it was in 2020 February, late Feb.
So do you miss that bike?
I wouldn't say that I really miss the bike, but I really miss life on the road.
I see. So it's not about the machine lah.
I try not to get myself too attached to things.
Yeah, you told. I think you told a lot of people that before.
Yeah.
So right now, what are you riding currently?
Also a Vespa, but the modern one.
We saw it. Yeah. What Vespa is that?
GT 200.
Maybe you can share a little bit of a backstory of the Vespa that you rode to Europe.
The LX.
Excel.
Oh,
Excel.
Sorry.
I mean, how, when?
How you got it? You know, how much you bought it for?
I bought it when I was 20 years old. I picked it up on my 20th birthday.
I see. So where you bought it from?
Aju in Ubi.
Aju.
Yeah.
I knew this name was coming up.
Also that time, because I was like very new, right? I don't know anybody. I don't know much about Vespa, but I just really like the look of Vespa. So I just say, I want this look. I want round headlight. I don't even know whether it is
What is this?
XL. I just say, I want round headlight, and then I got that. So whatever the scooter looks like and my paperwork, I think it doesn't match lah. So I don't care. Can run, can already.
So that time you were a bike noob lah. You don't know anything.
I don't know anything.
Okay,
like, I didn't know, this is XL or this is PA. I don't know. I just say I want this. Okay, round headlight.
As long as it's a Vespa.
Can run, can already.
How much you got it for actually?
I got it for $2,000 with new paintwork.
Those were the days, not bad,
cheap.
Very cheap.
Back in the day lah.
That was in 2007.
Yeah, back in the day, yes. 2007, yes. Vespa.
Yeah, with 6 years COE.
6 years COE. Then after that cannot renew
Can renew.
Can renew.
I renewed once.
COE was cheap.
Yeah, it was like a few $100 only.
My God, I wish I can go back to. I wish I had my license back already.
And 2007 it also happened to be the year that I renewed my Vespa. Right, previously I renewed it in November, you know. Then when I check back the history of the COE, right, I should have renewed it earlier, you know, in March, April, May.
Right, there was a period where COE was what?
It was 400 plus. Then I delay until November. It was to 1,002. I was like,
that's such a huge jump.
And then from that on, it was like
Yeah, it was exponential.
Crazy, man.
So what other bikes have you ridden previously? Like other than would you ride other bike other than Vespa?
Okay, in my lifetime, right, even though I've been riding for like 14 years, I've only owned 2 bikes before.
Oh, is it?
The Vespa and the KTM 200.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah.
First bike Vespa. Okay, same.
So even though I got my class 2 license, I've never upgraded before. I never owned a class 2 bike before.
That's all lah. The only bikes that you own lah. But then you rode a Scrambler or something when you just got back.
Definitely it's not mine.
Not yours. I think you borrowed or something.
Maybe I borrowed. Yeah, because when I came back to Singapore, I didn't have any bike. So I have friends who had spare bike. They just lent me. So I was like riding different bike. I change boyfriend every time. Sorry.
Oops. Okay, so maybe if they want to share, if money isn't an issue, right? And what's your ideal dream bike,
to bring for your next trip?
Trip,
trip, or maybe anything.
I don't really have I don't find an ideal bike yet. But I know from my traveling what are my preferences. So I want it to be light, like of course, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Why?
Because you shared picture of the bike dropping, and then I can imagine like you lifting up, you know.
Yeah.
Imagine if you drop 100 times, you know how heavy it is to carry a bike.
Okay, it's okay.
Okay, so I realized that I don't mind traveling slow. Okay, I like to travel slow, and sometimes I like to go off road. That's why I want a light bike, because I want to be able to have the confidence to be able to go off road and pick up the bike by myself. Yeah, because imagine if I have a big and heavy bike that I can't lift up myself, and then I go off road, I'm going to be so screwed. Yeah, so I want it to be light, and then better to have a bigger wheelbase. Yeah, because my Vespa, the wheelbase is quite
small.
It's very small.
Minuscule.
It's very small. So when I was riding in a very rough road, it was kind of a struggle. And then I like to have probably easy, sufficient and easy luggage storage. Like you can easily access to your things. I want it to have bright headlight as well, because that time my Vespa headlight sucks. Still running on the not LED. So you go, you become brighter. Yeah. So if I want it brighter, then I have to throttle. Yeah.
How about a BMW GS?
I don't know, but if I were to be traveling on, if I'm traveling with a tight timeline, I'm traveling with someone, I don't mind a GS. And of course, come on, I'm vertically challenged.
Okay, the F series is okay for ladies.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, never mind.
I don't know. See how Yeah, I mean, okay lah. I mean, I've ridden tall bikes, but of course, if I can plant both my toes down, it'll be better, right?
You will not have a bike that you need to tiptoe lah.
Yeah, at least no. Right now it's like I'm doing the Captain Morgan.
Yeah, even on your Vespa, I saw just now you're parking your bike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, then how you handle the Pan Americas? It's
like that. Okay, I'll be making a video on how I handle it.
Hey, it's too tall for me, you know. I don't know about you lah.
Well, I can. My ball of the ball of my foot can touch the ground, so it's okay lah for me.
Yeah. Don't mind me asking, what's your height?
1.56 meter.
1.56. I see. Okay lah. I think all the adventure bikes all too high lah.
Yeah. So for me, I find it's very difficult to find a suitable adventure bike. Yeah, you can say yes, get used to height and all. Yeah, can. But you know, there is always still that struggle when you are like stopping on an uneven ground.
Yeah.
So if you have the height, it will be advantageous lah.
So how did you get started with motorcycles?
Like I saw recently on your Instagram, you posted your pictures yourself as a kid sitting on top of a bike.
Last time I like to cycle lah, but I never really connected to motorcycle until I visited Vietnam. Because in Vietnam, everybody rides, right? Then I was like thinking, wow, if I can just explore Vietnam on one of these scooters, they will be so fun. So when I came back to Singapore, like at that time I was still in poly. Then when I was doing my internship, I decided to use my allowance to enroll. Go CDC, I enrolled to get my bike license. And then because that time I saw Vespa in Vietnam, so I thought to myself, hey, maybe I should get a Vespa when I come back to Singapore. So I got my license when I was, I think, 19 years old. Then I bought myself the Vespa scooter when I was 20, on my 20th birthday.
So at the time when you took your license, right, was it difficult for you?
Yeah, the clutch control, this thing, that was something very new. Yeah. I think the first lesson, probably I took, I don't know how many rounds, I think 3-4 lessons. Couldn't get the biting point, the clutch and throttle control. Yeah.
So that's why you decided to ride a scooter automatic.
Then after that, when I I transited from riding motorcycle in CDC to Vespa. It took some time to get used to because there's nothing to grip between your thighs.
And not only that, is it a hand clutch?
Yeah, the hand clutch.
Hand clutch and gear, hand gear.
Yeah, and then I remember when I go back to take my class 2A, right? My first lesson, I tried to. It's like, I'm not changing gear. Oh, it's on the foot. Oh, so it's like at the junction. I want to move off. Why am I not changing gear?
Yeah, I feel you. I had that moment before. You know, when I try out my friend's scooter, he was riding a SYM, the GTS 200. You know, the first thing I want to do is clutch in and then how come? It's the brake.
Yeah, it is the brake. Yeah, it happened to me too when I was riding auto.
Yeah, then for me, I confuse the brake with the clutch, and then I confuse. Why you keep want to brake? Oh yeah, it's a automatic scooter. I forget. We all have our moments. The muscle memory must train a bit. Okay, so you did a bit of off-roading previously. Maybe you want to share, your off-roading experience. Yeah.
So I thought I was too short to ride scramblers, right? Then until a point, one of my good friend, he let me try his DRZ 400. So for his DRZ 400, he had lowered it down and also shaved off the seat. Then I tried, I was like, okay, it's not that intimidating. Yeah, it's tall. It's not like, it's definitely taller than my Vespa scooter. But I think it's manageable. So I was like hanging out with him and also other dirt bikers. But at the time I was on my scooter. So sometimes I do follow them on trails with my Vespa.
Yeah? What? I ever do.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So last time there was like off-road trails in Punggol, Tanah Merah, but now it's all developed into residential area already. So yeah, I did ride my scooter into Punggol before. Yeah, and then my friend let me try his DRZ. At that time, I was like new. Then I let him. I rode around. And I thought, this was like really fun because with higher ground clearance and a bigger wheel, right? It's like you have less obstacles. Yeah, you don't. It's not that bumpy, and it was like really fun. Then we rode through splashes of puddles of water, and it was like splashing. So sometimes at night we would just go Punggol and ride, and I'll get myself really muddy. And that was how I thought, dirt biking is really fun. Yeah, riding on road can be a bit boring, but off-road riding is even better. Like you get more obstacles, you try to overcome them, you get really muddy. It's just like when you were young, right? You don't really care about being clean. You just
want to have fun.
Just want to have fun. Just get dirty, got all mud lah, wet, drenched, it was okay. Yeah, so at that time, I just got my Class 2A license. Then I thought of upgrading, but I decided, I think I want to get myself a dirt bike. So now I have a wider option. I can go for Class 2B or Class 2A. But in the end, I stuck with I bought my friend's KTM 200. But it was still a bit tall. But the thing is, KTM was super light. Yeah, it was very light. And because it's two-stroke, right, it's quite a beast. It's very tall, and then because my sprocket also was quite big, so it's very talky. And I was like, wow. But I kind of struggled with that bike quite a lot because of the height and the power. I don't know, backflip, don't know how many times. Because I would go to Malaysia with my friends, we'll go off-road, ride in the plantation, ride up the hill. So sometimes, when you're riding up very steep slopes, if you don't go easy on the throttle, you will just flip
back. Oh,
yes,
God.
I flipped a few times. Yeah, last time I think I had a nickname called the FMX Queen.
What's that? I don't know.
One time there was in motor culture, right? There was a feature of a race called the OFAT race, Because last time, there was Slack Rider forum for dirt bikers. So I took part in that competition. That time I didn't have a dirt bike yet, but I just like kind of started riding, like borrow my friend's bike lah. Then 4 girls, we formed a team to take part in the race, and we came in actually second. Then I remember, so we are supposed to do tag team. Then I remember we have to go up this slope for score taking and then come back. So up the slope, right, I over throttled and I kind of like backflip lah. So the photographer was here, and then I was like going out. So there's a photo of me like flipping the bike up in mid-air. Then ever since then I got the nickname FMX Queen.
Would you prefer off-roading or overlanding? Or overlanding on the off-road?
Well, I think the best compromise, right? Or the best combination will be off-road to overland. But that is very tiring.
Yeah lah.
I met one guy when I was in Iran. He was on a DRZ 400, the E model.
Okay.
Yeah, and he doesn't ride on the road. So if you want to get to another destination the next day, he will go to all those really small roads. So I traveled with him for like 2 or 3 days. So what we do is, because I travel on the road, so I'm faster. So and then I will tell him, okay, we're gonna meet at this town. And because I'm going to arrive earlier, I'm going to find accommodation for both of us.
Okay.
And then I will text you where we're staying for the day. So that was the arrangement for like 3 days. So I'll go my way, he'll go his way. And then I don't know, he get into some adventure somewhere in the forest, end up riding into Goat's Trail and everything. And when I got to my place and I meet him, he'll always be covered in mud. So that was the way he overland. Right, he doesn't take the highway, he just take all the small roads.
Wow.
But it's very tiring.
You ever run out of gas, surprisingly?
I don't know, but probably
off-road, you use more petrol.
Probably he has a big tank
Or probably he carries extra.
Yeah.
Just something in my mind lah.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised because, considering if you want to go to one town, one location to another location, and then the place is like hundreds
of kilometers away.
Hundreds of kilometers away.
And the scramble last. Okay, so this next question actually, I hope you can answer lah, but because it's kind of controversial, I hope you don't mind answering.
Okay.
Maybe I just say the question first, then if you're not keen to answer, we can just cut it out. Okay. So we know it was the passing of your friend that sparked the 2-year road trip. So what were your thoughts when you heard about his passing, and how did it affected you at that time?
Okay, so the guy who lent me his dirt bike to try, that was Lawrence. That was him who passed away. So he actually had a very big impact on my motorcycling endeavor. I think like a very, very big impact. First off was with dirt biking. So all along I always have this self-doubt. I'm too short to ride the bike. But he was always very encouraging. Even when I bought the new not exactly new. Okay, when I bought the KTM 200, which everybody told me was too tall, that I should change bike. He was the one who said, don't listen to what others say. I think you just need more practice. So we should go for more riding trips. So I did a lot of off-roading trips with him. Then so he's the one who made me believe in myself when I was having doubt about myself. And then I even went on to push myself further, take part in motocross competition, take part in enduro. Somebody got stuck. I even injured my knees and all. But those experiences, right, made me realize that actually I can do more lah. But why am I always talking myself down? So and for him, his motto is the rider, not the bike. So for himself, he also liked to do long distance trip on very unconventional bike. He even pillioned his mother on his DRZ all the way up to North Thailand. He rode Kapchai to Thailand. So he also rode all those unconventional bikes for long distance because because he also commando lah. He's a commando. He was like this, can-do attitude. So that's how I look up to him in that aspect. And at that time, when I first got the news, so actually he was supposed to ride all the way to China border with another good friend of mine. Then I know they've been planning this trip for quite some time now. I heard them talk about it, whenever we meet up for kopi. Then just around a few weeks before they were supposed to set off, I received a call. And that time I just started my part-time degree program. I was having a night class. Then I received a phone call from another friend saying that, hey, I got news to share with you. Lawrence just passed away. Then I was like, my first response was, which Lawrence? Because that time I know quite a number of Lawrence in my social circle. Then it dawned onto me that, okay, between this friend and I, right, the one who shared the news, we only know one Lawrence. Then I know it is him. Then it was very shocking. I couldn't believe. It was it took me quite some time to digest. So in the beginning it was like I wasn't able to accept it, right? Then after that I went out to calm myself down. Then after that that realization hit me lah. Then I just broke down.
How old was he?
He was 29 years old. Yeah, very young. Yeah. So it wasn't a motorcycle accident that took him. He was driving a van.
He got into RTA. He was
road traffic. Yes. A head-on collision with a truck while driving a van. So his passing made me realize that, hey, wow, people were telling me, hey, riding motorcycle is so dangerous. But here I lost a friend to a road traffic accident while he was driving, and all along for so many years he had been riding a motorcycle. Okay lah, minor accident, but it was driving a van that took his life. So it's I realized that there's no such thing like guarantee. Nothing is 100%, right? Everything is a matter of chance and sometimes luck. Yeah.
So it was he that he actually bring you along. You tag along with him on his overlanding trip?
Yeah, I guess in some way, and then a few months after his passing, right? Then so this friend who was supposed to go with Lawrence to ride to China, ride all the way to China border. In the end he went for 2 months, rode Laos, Indochina, and then he came back to Singapore. Then a few months after his return, we were talking about Lawrence, and then he said, hey, many of the Singaporeans, right, we're just riding around Southeast Asia, like Thailand, Laos, Cambodia. What if we can go further? And I was like, can I? I said, yeah, can. At that time, it was year 2010. There was another Singaporean couple who were at that time on their RTW. RTW means round the world travel. So it's there's this Singapore couple. They set off in 2008 for their round the world trip. So it is possible. Then I was like, oh, okay. So what needs to be done? So ever since then, I've been hooked onto that idea of doing it. And then that year, that Singaporean couple actually came back to Singapore, and by serendipity, I met them at a book signing event. And I recognized that guy. At that time, I was holding my helmet. The husband's name is Go, the wife's name is called Samantha. So when I was queuing up for the book signing, and he was a volunteer there, and I was holding my helmet, and then he approached me, hey, you ride motorcycle ah? Then I say, yeah lah, of course I'm holding helmet lah. No, I didn't say that lah. I say, yeah. I say, hey, you are the one who rode around the world on the Honda African Twin, right? Then he say, well, how you know? Yes, I know about you. I did read about your trip. Then ever since then, we connected, and he has been my 师傅 ever since. So he's been a very encouraging figure because I told him that I also have this idea, I have this plan also to want to travel around the world. But maybe with my Vespa, because Lawrence said it's the rider not a bike. Since I have the at the time I had a Vespa and KTM 200, so I thought Vespa was a more practical choice. Ever since then, I learned a lot from Go and Samantha because they have done that. Whereas everybody else who has never done such a thing, they'll say, "Oh no, it's too dangerous, don't go." Right? Then one thing I realized is, if you want to get advice to do anything, okay, not just motorcycle travel, anything, you should get your advice that comes from a place from experience and not from a place of fear.
True.
Right.
Yep.
Like you want to learn how to swim, you go and ask someone who don't know how to swim, teach you how to swim.
Actually,
no, right?
Actually, we've been consulting overlanders for our trip also, but they keep poisoning us to go further and further.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
What is stopping you? I mean, okay lah, maybe money, but pandemic. Yeah, true lah. Pandemic.
Okay, so yourself being a recognizable figure in public, maybe you want to give some of your encounters with your so-called fans, or people who know you in public.
Encounters
One of the most memorable ones
Actually, I'm not sure how much traction I gained when I was away. I didn't know. All I did was just, feel like it, post some photos, share some thoughts. I didn't intend for anything to go viral, but I remember that when I was traveling, a few things went viral. I remember I had a Today Online video that went viral. Then also a video that I made when I was in Turkey also went viral. And then after I came back to Singapore, also I made another video that one had almost 2 million views. So that really went viral. So I think most of my recognition actually came maybe after I came back to Singapore. Then I started getting all these interviews, podcasts. I mean, before I left on my trip and during my trip, okay lah, 1 or 2 and things like that. But I guess it was when I came back from my trip, I was able to have all these photos, video, and was able to reflect on my experience and be able to probably share on a more deeper level rather than today I did this, today I did that. I think anybody can do that, but to be able to just bring about all your experience and talk together and then just try to reflect on them and convey them at a deeper level, I was probably able to do that when I came back from my trip. And that was when it came, it got quite a lot of attention. And then I remember at the time I was riding my friend's the Honda XR100. I was on my scooter, but I was wearing the same helmet that I had when I was traveling.
That showy helmet.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't really show my helmet on the trip a lot. A lot, man.
Not a lot lah. Maybe there's 1 or 2 pictures.
Yeah, because I know in my photos I didn't really show a lot of my face because I don't have an Insta boyfriend to help me take photo. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, give us a moment.
I mean, I didn't really have a lot of photos of myself because I have no Insta boyfriend to help me take also. And I'm not a very selfie person. Okay lah, once in a while if I have go out with friends and we take photo together. But yeah, so I think people more recognize me in my riding jacket and all. So that time I was at Katong and I just stopped by the roadside to just check my message. Then one guy walked past and then asked me, "Hey, are you the Wandering Wasp?" I'm not on a Vespa, you also can recognize me. Yeah, I think a few times in the public, I was recognized. Even I was after teaching yoga class, then I just walked past Starbucks, and then one guy was sitting in Starbucks was like, "Hey, are you the Wandering Wasp?" Then I was like, "Oh yeah, yes, hi." And then that time I also Bras Basah, I was just leaving the car park, going up the stairs. Then one lady come up, "Hi, are you the Wandering Wasp?" I was like, but they don't really know my name. So
Oh yeah, they don't know your name, huh?
it's okay lah. I want to keep my personal identity and my online personality.
When this video comes out, it's not gonna be a secret anymore.
Oh no, my name is actually Sally.
And my name is Robert.
Right, my name is Martin. Okay. And how would you react, to all of the fans that acknowledge you on the road?
Yeah, I was like quite surprised. Then I would just say hi to them. Oh, there was one time I was on the road at traffic light. Then I was at the traffic light. Then this guy keeps staring at me. Then I was like, okay, I don't know. Then I just like pretend, okay, like nothing happened. Then after that, at the next traffic light, he went up to me again. Excuse me, are you the Wandering Wasp? And I was like, yes. Oh wow, and he's like, oh wow, I really love your trip, man. Oh, this is like this is a great adventure. So can I take a selfie? Then so we had a selfie on the road. And also overseas as well. When I was in London.
Oh, London.
I was in London. Attending this Women Rider World Relay finale. So we passed the baton around the world.
Oh, yeah.
And then the last destination was in London. So I was invited to give a talk over there. And yeah, I was recognized there by a lady, like from another country. Wow. And when she saw me, she actually teared.
Why?
She said that, are you the Wandering Wasp? And then she started tearing. She's like, oh, you know the post about the mother and daughter? I could so resonate with it. Because I think I've ever posted about how my mother was so brave to let me go on the trip because it was not easy on her.
Yeah.
So I think that resonates with a lot of mothers.
Yeah, same. I myself also face the same.
And we're just going Thailand.
Yeah, just going to Thailand. My mother was like so.
Yeah, it's not easy. Even no matter how old you are, like you're in your 30s already, they don't stop worrying. So I think for my mom to really let me go, it was really brave of her. It was really not easy. Wow.
I wonder what my mom would say if I want to tell her I'm riding to Turkey.
So,
comment.
I reunite with my mom in Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Wow, I teared, I cried. I broke down.
You missed her, is it?
No. It's not really miss, but I really put her through so much.
I understand.
All the time of like her worrying and all. But she still let me go, she still let me pursue what I want to do. So yeah, I'm really grateful to her. Yeah, it was really not easy for her.
For her lah.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, so sometimes people may think, you're being very selfish. But people may think that I'm selfish, but I think my intention for the trip is not a selfish purpose.
Oh, yeah, I don't care about that.
But when this trip, when I share stories about other countries, it allows people to see another side of a country. Beside the political phase and all, you get to see the people themselves.
The genuine and the hospitality.
Yeah.
Genuine.
Sometimes the stories of people are not shared enough.
True.
Yeah, usually the media doesn't do justice.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I mean, for my mom, she worried because she didn't really have much of this traveling experience. So she may still think that the world out there is really very dangerous, full of bad people. But on the contrary, what I've encountered is overwhelming love. Yeah.
Yeah, true. You wanna wash your face?
Wow, my eyes very red.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to take a breather?
I'll take a breather first.
Okay, we 5 minutes lah. Sorry guys, 5 minutes break. We're live alive, you're back.
Alright.
So Juvena, thank you so much for the interview.
What's next for the one?
Okay.
And action.
Okay. Right. So Juvena, thank you for granting us this interview. You've been really awesome and never expected to be emotional lah.
And then to meet her in person is like amazing.
You are our idol. I want to show you something. I want to show you something that I keep this at my notice board ever since we met at the Singapore Bike Show in 2019. It's on my notice board.
Oh,
and I see it
you didn't stick
day.
it?
No, because it's like it's an inspiration for me. It's a sticker.
And later I brought a few.
So you have been an inspiration to the both of us lah. Especially me. I don't know about
Especially you lah.
Especially me lah.
I mean,
yourself, who's your inspiration?
I mean, the person who actually sparked my idea of going on a road trip, like overlanding trip, is this guy Daniel Lim. He was featured in Motor Culture magazine, and then I read his article. He wrote a Daily R125 from Singapore to Mae Hong Son, and then that was like, wow, okay, I want to go Mae Hong Son. That is the one that sparked my apa tu? Interest for overlanding.
Yeah. So,
but then to hear
her story,
a Vespa riding all the way to Europe is adds on to the adventure that I'm looking for.
Yeah, correct.
Alamak, best
We've interviewed a lot of overlanders and we're just thankful that you are more than willing to do the interview with us again for the second time.
Oh, my pleasure. If I can get more people out there, I'm more than happy to.
Yeah. So with that, we conclude the interview. Final question: what is next for the Wandering Wasp?
I think my plans are pretty open because also right now I really don't want to plan so much because there's so much uncertainty now with borders closing and lockdown in other countries. So I'm keeping my options really open. I mean, I'm also open to like fly and ride trips. Yeah, and probably also exploring my own backyard a little. Yeah, and because honestly, although I've traveled to Europe, right, I've never been to Cambodia, Laos. I've not explored my own backyard. And how about Indonesia? I was also thinking about Borneo, right? Sabah, Sarawak, and Kalimantan.
Oh, okay.
And Philippines.
Nobody is overland from Philippines. I think because it's a group of islands as well.
I think also, I also need to settle my scooter stuff also. I want to get it to a place where I can store it for a longer period of time. So I need to settle that and maybe continue traveling from there. Then I also thought about revisiting some of the places that I've traveled to, but instead of overlanding, maybe fly and ride. And also probably in 2024 take part in the Mongol Rally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mongol Rally, or off-road all the way,
Not exactly all the way lah, but there will be some places that will be pretty remote. Yeah. So I think so far I've been doing a lot of slow travel. So Mongol Rally will be a very different experience. Yes, you're overlanding, but now you have a time limit. And you're probably doing with other people who are also doing the same thing. Yeah. So it's going to be a different experience, and everybody will come in to celebrate, at that final destination and all. Yeah, and people will be using ridiculous bikes and cars. It's gonna be fun. I think if the ride is like smooth sailing, no breakdown, it's gonna be very boring.
Yeah, true.
I think when you have all these crazy ideas and unconventional bike, and then when things break down, that is when things get interesting.
Come to think of it, when my bike broke down in Laos, right, I was like, okay, it makes it much more memorable.
Imagine it's like your trip is like what? Totally all smooth.
Boring.
Yes.
Talking about the Mongol Rally, I thought of doing the monkey run, monkey run at Morocco.
Oh,
The monkey run.
yes.
You ride monkey bike?
You ever talked to me about this before? It'll be fun.
Yeah,
50cc monkey bike,
Oh my god.
yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Maybe you can join us.
Possibility
Form a
are
team?
endless.
Yeah.
Possibilities are endless. No. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we don't have to always limit that. Wow. Must overland, must use Singapore registered vehicle, must have a big bike, must have big wheelbase, must have this, must have that. Sometimes if you open yourself to different possibilities, right, you realize that actually things can get very interesting if you just start deviating from the norms.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wow, it's been eye-opening to hear all this in person. And once again, thank you, Juvena, for
Pleasure.
being on the show. Really appreciate you taking your time to share your personal life with us, and
Backstory that is not often being shared.
Because I noticed all the interviews about you is about your trip,
Like
but
how I plan, how I
but
started.
never about the person herself, Yeah.
Yeah, today I talked about my mom.
Yeah.
Because although yes, I have all these beautiful memories and traits, but behind
The backstory,
Yeah.
there's this sense of guilt as well.
So, any final words from you? Nothing,
No,
No,
just say Thanks for doing the channel to inspire more people out there.
Thank you also for being an inspiration. And thanks for watching, guys. Any riders who want to review the bike, us, you can touch on our social media pages below.
Okay, if you have any suggestions, comments or feedbacks, put them in the comment section below. Like and share this video if you're riding kakis, and don't forget to subscribe. Any questions about overlanding, also you can put them down in the
I
comments.
forget to
We
mention
will-
this. I forget to mention this.
What?
Thanks to 18 Moto for sponsoring this venue for us. Really appreciate you guys. You can refinance, buy a bike, service your bike here. That's it for the video podcast, and we will see you in the next one.
Okay, awesome.
Give me all of your lies, 'cause you're my demon.